I don't have any regrets, don't get me wrong, you know. I still think I had a quite okay career. One thing I do regret, not qualifying with Canada for the World Cup, but the one who I hated to play the most, I think he moved here not so long ago, is Rio Ferdinand. We call it soccer back in
Soccer or football?
No, we call it soccer. You cannot call it football in Canada. I'm really sorry. Yes, hi, my name is Thomas Radzinski. I was born in Poland and my career took me through countries like Canada, Belgium, England, Greece, and I ended again back in Belgium. I think it's a fantastic experience, especially because when you're a young boy, you're born in one country, in a communist country of Poland. Then you move with your parents, with your whole family to Germany for a few years, but I was still a young boy. Then they emigrated further to Canada before I started to play professionally football in Canada at the age of 17. It was not really a professional league. It was called professional league, so we had to travel all over Canada from Halifax to Vancouver, and in the middle, every single city as well. Yet the quality was not really there yet at that period. It was the early years, 90. But at a certain time, I decided this is not going to be enough for me as a person. I would like to play football professionally back in Europe, where the quality was better. And so at the age of 20, I moved to Belgium to trial in a Belgium competition, and I became a professional football player in Belgium, and that was really one of the happiest days of my life. Well, it definitely got faster. I mean, look, I've played in the top teams, top competition in Europe. Yet, when I see the training and the games right now, the intensity of the game is way higher. You will not be able to do just a few sprint and height during the games. You really have to work all 90 minutes, and I think the average high intensity runs and high intensity sprints during the game, they have increased dramatically compared to our time. So you do not have as much time to recover during your 90 minutes on the pitch. I think the players are all fit. Even the big players, the tall players right now, they're also very fast, very explosive. Where in my time as a player, I was very explosive, but I was very small. So for me, playing against taller defenders was an easier task. Because by the time they turned around and they had to chase me, it was kind of a little bit too late. Right now you have really tall players who are fast and fit as any one of them. So the difference are centimeters rather than meters. I love to play the Premier League and I will love to watch the Premier League at this moment. And I do believe that in general, as a league, I still think it's the best league. I think it has the most competitive teams. I think if you think about the 20 teams that are playing in the Premier League, I think you always have 6, 7, 8 teams who are really excellent. Where if you have to compare it to Italy or to Germany or to Spain, you only have a handful, maximum 3 to 4 teams that are really at the level where they can compete to become a champion. Mm-hmm. So if you're asking me if it's still the best league, I would say yes. Well, with Everton, it would be my 2 goals against Southampton. I had a double goals in the last 5 minutes of the game. We had a new head coach at that moment, David Moyes, who is currently back at Everton, and we were struggling against the relegation battle. So every time I do go back to Liverpool and people say hi to me on the street, they always remember that moment, and they always speak to me about the day when I scored 2 goals against Southampton, especially because the winning goal was a real beauty. Even I have to say that I don't score many beautiful goals, but this one was something that I do remember. And at Fulham, look, at Fulham, I had a little bit more difficult time as a striker, just because we played in a different system. You know, you have a coach who decides to play with wingers, and instead of being a striker, I became a winger. And not that I am lazy, but it was way more difficult for me to run up and down the pitch on the left side, and not only attacking but defending as well. So the time at Fulham was a little bit more stressy for me, and the amount of goals I scored at Fulham was also less. So I don't really have a specific goal that I do remember. I do remember one that I missed and that I will never forget, because a friend of mine and a colleague from the team from Fulham, he went later to Manchester United, Edwin van der Sar, was in goal. And I have a clear header from 2 yards out, and I put that against the crossbar, and the ball does not go in. So I regret that as a striker, not to make that goal rather than remembering the making of a goal. So yeah, it's just too bad. It's not an easy question, because there is a defense consists of 4 players, you know, so it depends how they play against you, and sometimes you play against 1, sometimes you play against 2. But I think the hardest tackling guy was Manchester United, Michael Silvestre. But the one who I hated to play the most, I think he moved here not so long ago, is Rio Ferdinand. It's just because he was not always playing fair, you know, which is okay. I mean, I don't mind. He was really tough to crack. So and he was also, with the new generation of defenders, he was fast. For a big guy, he was fast, he can turn fast, and he can read the game well, so I could not really gain too much advantage on him in case of speed. So I would say that Manchester United duo were very tough. Strangely, not especially, but there was always one guy that I was thinking of and I was comparing myself to, but he was playing on a different position. He was playing as a winger at Ajax. It was Mark Overmars. It was very strange. I mean, he's the same size, kind of like me, you know, also lightning fast. The only thing is he was playing on the left side, and I always was wishing that I could play for teams like Ajax and Barcelona. I never got that far, but you know, the speed and I think the awareness of on the pitch was comparable to his, and I think just because I was looking up to whatever he was doing at that time. I don't think I did have a choice. I mean, as a young boy, you move to Canada and you play in a Canadian competition, and I don't think there's many coaches or many people in Poland knew that I still had a Polish nationality. I mean, who would even think of somebody from Canada that he's actually Polish? So, and I believe my first game was already at the age of 19 for the Canadian Olympic team. We went even to play a tournament in Paris, the Commonwealth game tournament, and I believe at that age nobody even considered me being a Polish or considered me being fit for the national team. So at that time, once you play for youth team, national team, then you're always bound with that national team. So I don't have any regrets, don't get me wrong, you know, I still think I had a quite okay career. One thing I do regret, not qualifying with Canada for the World Cup. We did not really have a fantastic team. We had 1 year that I remember we did have a chance to qualify for the World Cup, but we just came short by 2 points to make it to the World Cup. So you know, it's a pity, especially because I did play for the national team more than 15 years. But at least right now I am glad that the new generation is making 2 World Cups in a row. It's very satisfying to see that a little bit of me passed on to the young generations, and then they're actually making it to the World Cup in Qatar, and now coming back home to Canada, US and Mexico. Absolutely. I mean, if if you want to go and see an MLS game from Toronto FC, I mean, the games are almost always sold out, you know, so, and this is only the MLS. This is the World Cup, so every single soccer person, we call it soccer back in
soccer or football?
No, we call it soccer. You cannot call it football in Canada. I'm really sorry. So soccer is very, very popular in Canada, and you say ice hockey is the most popular one, but I do agree and disagree at the same time. Just because soccer is being played by the most kids up until the age of 16, everybody's playing soccer because it's very easily accessible. You can play it all year long, and everybody loves it. Well, first of all, my friend and colleague from 10 years, Sofian Benkelo, who is an agent here in Saudi Arabia, he invited me to come and have a look how everything works here in Saudi Arabia. And on the way, another friend and colleague and an ex-teammate, Bezni Kazi, who used to coach in Saudi Arabia, he came with me, so it's a fantastic, well, so far I'm here 5 days and I enjoy it so much. You know, I've never been to Saudi Arabia before, and just coming here and seeing it for myself, it's unbelievable. The stadiums are nice. I watched already 2 games, you know, Al Shabab against Al Nasser, and then I went to see the cup final a day after in Jeddah. So for me, it's just the first contact with the football here. It's fantastic. I mean, the big stars are right now the ones that I was watching. Well, actually, I played against Ronaldo in his youth when he was still at Manchester United, but now seeing him at his age, 41, still playing in this competition and scoring goals, because he scored a goal in that game. It's something that I didn't think I will see in my lifetime. So, and then going to the final and see Karim Benzema playing there. Again, one of those strikers that you look up to and hope he's doing well. So coming here and watching this league growing this fast with such many stars that I used to admire at the Premier League level, it's great. Well, I'm only here 5 days, so I'm still trying to get everything inside and try to process what I see. But it's amazing in such a short time how great and how big football has become. Because the day before with the cup final, the fans are amazing. The stadiums are like out of this world. I mean, the infrastructure for football. If anybody can come and play football here, I mean, I would highly recommend, because from what I've seen so far, it's a country that is growing and developing every single day, and the football is getting better and better. Although I've never seen a football match before prior to coming here from Saudi Arabia, I think the level is very, very high. Well, I'm very surprised at the level of food. I mean, the food is delicious. It's very, very hot. Don't get me wrong. I'm somebody who grew up in Poland in a cold country and then moved to Canada, again a very cold country, and then you come here and you land in the evening and it's still 32 degrees, and I was shocked. But I'm positively surprised with the people, with the friendliness, I love food, and the food is absolutely delicious. Every single place we went to eat with Sofian and with Beznik was great, and it doesn't matter whether or not you eat the local food or you go to eat some Japanese or you eat European food. Every single dish is great. So I think they've done a great job on that aspect too. I know football players are very spoiled people. They like only the best, and I think they would not maybe enjoy themselves as much for the football if the food was not good. Yeah. So I know for myself, the last 5 days was a culinary experience for me as well, and this is something I will gonna take home. So anytime I want to have a good steak or good sushi or whatever it is, I definitely gonna think of Riyadh and Jeddah. Unfortunately, the schedule has been so busy the last few days that we were running from one meeting to another, from speaking to from one club to another and watching games, that it's going to have to be for the next visit. So hopefully it's not going to be so long anymore before Sofian is going to say again, Thomas, come and visit me again. And then we're going to do the more cultural and local things, because at this moment it was more experiencing Saudi Arabia from the perspective of, you're here for 5 days, let's just do everything very quickly. And next time I come, I'm going to come for a little bit longer, and hopefully I will be able to do the local side of things. Well, a player can sleep longer. You're not worried about nothing. You just go to training, you train, you finish training, you go home and you sleep, you eat, you enjoy your life. Sporting director was a very, very difficult job, especially I had a young family at that time. We're talking about 12 years ago. I have 3 daughters, and I'm a family man. Being a family man and not seeing your family was very, very difficult, because the phone never stops. You're starting your day at 6 a.m. And the phone doesn't stop. You have to take 3 charging stations with you. You deal with agents, you deal with players themselves, with parents, with players, with whatever is happening in the team, news. It was a very, very tough job. I mean, I liked it, don't get me wrong, I really liked it, but after 2 years of being a sport director in a Premier League club in Belgium, I decided it's enough. I need to see my family more, and I stopped that job. I stayed in football. I'm still involved with football. Right now I'm trying to connect the dots and bring people together. I know many agents, I know many clubs, I know many sporting directors, and I know many players as well. So I'm trying to bring those people together, and hopefully they can make a very good deal for the club, for the country, for the coaches themselves.